What's up, you guys? I am doing a video today. As you can tell, I already have my eyebrows and my eye makeup already done, and that is because I kind of wanted to focus more on my foundation and skin makeup, more focusing on my face, kind of telling you guys the steps. But also in this video I'm gonna release a trigger warning right now. If you guys want to be on a channel that's going to be strictly makeup only, no personal life, no channels that veer off of just cosmetics, then this channel won't be for you. This channel is going to be 100% me, 100% honest, and 100% sincere. It's going to be about my personality, my life, everything. I want this to be a channel where I put my all in it, and everything that I am will be in this channel. And so if you are interested in hearing a little bit about things that really matter to people in the world, like mental health, and if you want to hear a little bit about my journey with mental health and where I'm at right now, things that you guys can kind of relate to, then just keep watching. I'm also going to talk about the steps of my makeup. When it comes to my face makeup, what do I do first? Because I know some people want to know the steps, and the steps for makeup is not the same for everybody. So just because I do something a particular way does not mean everybody does their makeup the same way. This is just how I do it. So if you want to see how I do my steps in makeup, continue watching for all of it, for all the good stuff. So I already moisturized my face with my Daily Active Moisturizer. It's in the prior video, and I'm already going to go ahead and add some of that No Pore-Blem primer that I had got for BoxyCharm, and I'm going to continue using this because I was using the Smashbox Photo Finish, and this tops it. And I think I said that already before in my other video, but I gotta say it again just in case I didn't get the message clear enough. It's great. So I'm just gonna add. I'm gonna add it where my pores mainly are. I just had a baby. She's 9 months. I'd say just had because 9 months is really early still. I'm only been a new mom for 9 months, and that's still fairly new to me. So there's something that a lot of women don't talk about when it comes to giving birth, or afraid to come forward and talk about, and that is postpartum depression. Sorry, was parched. So first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is pre-conceal, and when I pre-conceal, I just kind of add concealer on spots where I feel like I have a lot of pigmentation and a lot of acne scarring, and mostly that's under my eyes from my bags because lack of sleep. Your girl is lacking a lot of sleep, guys. Seriously, like seriously. Around my nose it's really red, and I typically add a little bit on the spots that have acne scarring. So after you give birth, you have something in your body when you're pregnant called your HCG, and that's a hormone level, and it tells you along the lines of how high your hormones are in your pregnancy. And sometimes for doctors, that's how they estimate how far along you are in the pregnancy, depending on how high that number is. I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out with my Real Techniques foundation brush, my favorite. I'm not gonna blend it out completely, guys. I'm kind of just gonna tap it to the part where it's flat enough and subtle enough, because I don't want to remove everything. Kind of just like that. You see how you could still see it? I still want it to be, I don't want to remove too much of this concealer. Actually, I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender. I already have my damp beauty blender, and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend all of this out. So right there is good enough. And as soon as you give birth, those levels start to come down drastically. And so when your levels start to come down, your body kind of goes into shock, because it's like, hello, there was a baby there. Where is it? You know, your body has to grasp the concept that you are no longer pregnant, and now you're trying to get back to normal. And they say typically it takes 5 years after giving birth to go back to normal, which is crazy. And because your body is kind of fluctuating and trying to figure everything out, and your brain chemicals are trying to get back to normal, you can develop something called postpartum depression. So guys, I'm actually going to try to use some of my Suva liquid drops. This is illuminating drops for your foundation. You kind of just blend it into your foundation, and it kind of gives it like a glow, or like highlighting, a luminous, you know, whatever. Okay. I'm just gonna pump a few pumps of my ColourPop No Filter foundation in the color Fair. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab that Suva highlighter illuminating drop thing. And it's like this, it has a little dropper, and I'm just gonna kind of apply a few drops. Let's do, oh, well, one big drop, that's it. I'm not gonna add any more than that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Work all of this out. So I didn't think I was gonna get postpartum depression, only because me and my husband wanted a baby together so badly. And when I finally got pregnant with Layla, I was so happy because we had lost 2 babies prior, and I was devastated. I think I cried for 5 months. It was such a traumatic experience for me. I developed PTSD from it, which I then ended up, I began counseling when I was pregnant with an amazing therapist here in Florida. Her company is by the name Sofu Family, and I absolutely love it. Still with her. Even 9 months after my pregnancy, I went back to her and was like, listen, my depression came back bad. I have postpartum depression. And I remember trying to call her one night, but her phone was off because it was super late. And she got back to me the next day, and she was like, yes, wow, send me, you know, your information, and I'll check out your insurance and stuff. Okay, I look like a vampire. It's good enough. Blending of the foundation. So I'm gonna go back in with the same concealer, and I'm gonna do touch-up concealing, and I'm also gonna add more under my eye just to bring it out more and make it look brighter and more alive. I look like a vampire. Maybe I am. The night before, I had called her for extra help on counseling, because what I mean by extra is I panicked from how I was feeling. I can't explain postpartum to somebody 100% unless they have been through it and know what it's like. But you feel so disconnected from the world. You feel like you're falling apart. And I found myself crying more in the shower, crying more and more every day. And one day I called my sister and I told her what was going on. She was like, you have postpartum depression. I didn't think I would get depressed. I didn't think I'd get postpartum because, like I said, we struggled to have babies. We lost 2 babies prior. And then I got extremely sick in my pregnancy. I had something called hyperemesis gravidarum. And I'll save that story for a different video because it's a long, complicated journey. My pregnancy was really hard and I almost died. And it's just not a easy thing to talk about. Yeah, I definitely need to go get recolor matched because my skin tone is definitely changing up quite a bit. Now, I don't add a lot of this, just enough to make the skin look very compatible with my neck. So I remember the night where things got the most worst for me was, it was a night I was speaking, I was in the bathroom and I was crying and I was calling my mom because I was in the bathroom and I was having like a panic attack. I was hyperventilating and I felt like I was going underwater and I couldn't breathe anymore. And I was crying to the point where I could not talk. And my mom's like, okay, Veronica, you need to calm down real quick and try to tell me what's going on. And I explained to her everything that I was feeling and every thought that was going through my head, good and bad. And I was explaining to her how I feel like I'm falling apart and how I should be so happy because I have a baby and I really wanted this baby and I tried so hard for this baby. And here I am crying and I'm depressed and I'm going through this really weird time. And she was like, you know, I do think you have postpartum. And she said the same thing. She's like, you need to seek help immediately because postpartum is not something you want to wait. It can get a lot worse. And I hate to say this, but some women have hurt their babies and themselves because of this. And it's really sad because some women, they're ashamed because they feel like it should be a happy moment in their life, that they're scared to come forward, they're scared to talk about it, and so they don't. And it gets worse and they don't seek help. And from speaking with a few people, I realized I needed to seek help, and so I did. I sought the help that I needed and wanted to do more than just taking a pill. So I called Marlene, which was the lady from Soul Food Counseling, and she is amazing. She got back to me, and it was a few days later, and I had already seen my doctor. And at the doctor's visit, guys, I was so happy. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and bronze up my skin a little bit, and I'm gonna be using the Pretty Vulgar that I got. When I got into my doctor's office, guys, I immediately, not even lying, I immediately started crying. I started crying because I knew that with this person, I was allowed to cry. I was allowed to let it out. This was, you know, the place where it's supposed to start getting better from. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this e.l.f. blush palette, you guys. I actually love this palette so much. There's no names for them. They literally just have a very big, generous mirror. Like, that mirror is big, and I appreciate that. I said I wasn't gonna grab a heavy hand, and it still looks heavy. It's okay, guys. I'm gonna blend all of this out. Don't worry. You're probably like, bitch, what are you doing? Looking like a motherfucking clown up in here. I'm gonna grab my beauty blender, and I'm actually gonna kind of press over it, and I'm gonna kind of make it look a little calmer. You see the difference already? Okay, so today I'm gonna add a little more oomph to my look, and I'm actually gonna bake. I'm gonna use the AirSpun. This is the oldie, guys. You guys are probably like, girl, that's old. It's still my favorite, and it still works just as good as it did a long time ago, so it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna use that puffy thing that it comes with, and I'm gonna dip into it, making sure I grab enough of that powder. And I'm going to begin to dab that exactly where I want to bake it. You see how white that is? I want to bake under my eyes with the banana powder from Makeup Revolution. Apply that under my eyes. And then I'm also going to apply a little bit on my forehead. And I'm going to leave that there to bake, and let's continue chatting a little bit while that bakes. We spoke a little bit, me and the doctor. He even gave me his cell phone number in case if I ever felt like I was having a meltdown or I felt like I was going to hurt myself or somebody else. to call him immediately, and he would set me up with a hospital and a doctor and people who could help me. And he sent me a prescription to start helping myself go through my journey of mental healthness, and basically he was trying to help me see the light. Now, here's the point of those kind of medications. They don't fix you, guys. It's not a cure. This is not something where you take and you're like, oh, I'm all better now. The pill is just half of it. You have to take this medication, but also you need to work just as hard as the medication's working to help yourself get better. And when I say that is, you have to be positive when taking this medication. You have to play a part in it. You can't just rely on the medication. So positive mindset, because I'm a mom and I have a baby who's depending on me, and I need to be at the best, you know, I can possibly be for her. I was doing therapy and I was happy I was getting better. Mental health is important, guys. If you feel some way, do not fight it alone. Tell somebody, reach out. You are so important. So I went ahead and I added Secreto from the BeckyGx collection with ColourPop, and I love this and I love BeckyGx. So I went ahead and I added that. The powder I had that was baking on my face. You can see how under my eyes, once I removed it, it looks just a lot more bright, a lot more awakening, and a lot more beautiful. I love it. And the you can see like a little precise line right under the blush and stuff. So I just love it. Anyway, guys, so I hope this video gave you some insight and helped you if you are struggling with something. If you're going through something, talk to somebody, speak up, seek help, save your life, save your mental health. You are worth it. And I will see you in the next video. If there's something you guys want me to talk about in the next video, please comment it down below. Share, like, and subscribe. Please hit that notification bell. That way you can get alerts of when I upload. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.